Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and we're here again with another legend for the main set that I've taken apart and hopefully turned into a decent-ish, well, fairly fun, this one. Let's say it's decent, it's fairly fun though, deck. And today is Aatchik Emerald Radian, 3 double black and green for an insect druid that's 3/3, so quite expensive. But when Aatchik enters, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each artifact or creature card in your graveyard. And whenever an insect you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Aatchik, and each opponent loses 1 life. This is a fun insect commander, I think. I quite enjoy building this one. I'm not saying it's perfect in any way, shape or form, but we like, creatures go in the graveyard, something that happens quite a lot in Commander, and when you've got 6 mana, you've probably got a fair few in your graveyard already, so this bears out quite nicely, I think. So a little bit of fun today. So here we go. Here's what today's deck really does look like. Before we go any further, there's 107 tickets on Magic Online. There's one card that's really putting it over the top at the moment, and I'll get to it. But you don't need to play that card. You can take out. I'm just playing it because it's another way of milling, but we'll get there. And if you know your artwork, you can tell what it is from the picture in the middle here. But anyway, at the beginning, we have lots of insects. There's 33 creatures in the deck, mainly insects, some that aren't that support, but there's a fair few. So, Corset Caterpillar to take out those annoying artifacts and enchantment. We've got Grist, Voracious Lava in here. Now, technically, I should have really thought of some way of making this come back from the graveyard into play to transform into the Plague Swarm. But there's a couple of ways of doing it. It's not what I really focused on. I focused on the fact that it's a 1 mana 1/2 with Death Touch. So, from that point of view, I still think it's reasonably good. Haywire Might, another way of exiling those annoying non-creature artifacts and non-creature enchantments. Scoop Mob, because it is an insect and it hopefully gets bigger very quickly. Carol Whipcracker, just to blow up annoying artifact. Target tokens our opponents control, sorry. Virus Beetle, because it gives away and make people discard things, which can be frustrating. The first non-insect, Azusa, to get those extra lands in to go. And then we have Blex, the Vexing Pest. This pumps up all our insects by +1/+1. And then when Blex, the Vexing Pest, dies, we get 4 life. That's not a bad turnaround for a 3 mana, 3/2 legend. Circuit Member is another insect, an artifact creature that's an insect to be precise. So, gain 2 life when it enters the battlefield and then draw a card when it leaves the battlefield. Eternal Witness is one of another non-insect creatures in the card, just to bring something back from our graveyard to our hand if we need it to. Hornet Nest just lets us block the biggest creature they attack us with and get a whole load of insect creatures with flying and death touch. Null Mage Advocate is an old school one. Return 2 target cards in an opponent's graveyard to his or her hand to destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Now, this may seem a bit weird, but actually returning a couple of lands to someone's hand if they're not playing blue isn't that big a deal. And taking out a target artifact or enchantment is a big deal, so it works from my point of view. Nyx Weaver just lets us keep milling things at the beginning of our upkeep, which will feed Aatchik when we get there. Deadbridge Goliath does the whole scavenge thing if we need to, but it's another insect, 4 mana for a 5/5, so it went in. Fumulus, the Infestation, coming in from the Foundation's Jumpstart set. Really nice card. Flying whenever a player sacrifices a non-token creature, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. And then whenever an insect, leech, slug or worm you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Nice, like that plan. Oracle of Muldai, just to give us more lands. The Swarm Weaver, because it's a scarecrow that gives us insects. And as long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, our insects get +1/+1 and have death touch. So live with that plan. Timeless Witness, just another shaman to return things that have been killed off. Amazu, the Swarm Hunter, gives all our insects menace. This comes in from the clue set. And then whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, you may create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the greatest mana value amongst those cards. Whew. It's here because it gives flying menace and menace to all our insects. The other bit may happen occasionally. Ant Queen's in because she will create us insects and gives us something to dump our mana into. Crasher Rhino Beetles is just funny. Yeah, gets +10/+10 as long as we control 10 or more lands. So 15/15 trample in this deck is not difficult to come by. Easy to kill, easy to remove, I'm aware of that. But it does give people a bit of a fit when it becomes a 15/15 if they haven't got a removal spell for it. Graveshell Scarab, just so we can do the whole dredge, and we can sack it off to draw a card if we need to. Iridescent Horn Beetle, at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 green insect token for each +1/+1 counter you put on creatures you control this turn. Doesn't really happen, but it's a 3/4 for 5, and I want another insect in the slot, so you can take it out and put it in something else you want to, but hey, I like keeping type ball going where I can. Mazek, the Kroll Death Priest, whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, so you do have a little bit of synergy, but not that much. This is the card. If you're going to play this on Magic Online, you can cut 63 tickets off the cost of your deck if you ignore the Overlord of the Bale Merc. It's here because it does mill cards and then returns things to our hand, and it just fills up our graveyard a bit more for Aatchik when he comes into play. So Conrad, another non-insect that's pretty much a no-brainer in this deck. Likewise, the Gitrog monster just lets us draw cards. I haven't played the Gitrog monster for ages, and I just wanted it in my black-green deck for no other reason. Change it, take it out, put something else in if you want to. Foreign Clicks is here to go and find us the 2 forest cards to put in our hand. Obviously, we do need to have green and black lands, and this gives away a search up the dual lands that we have. We can mill 10 cards, put 2 creature cards from among the milled cards onto your battlefield, so that's one way of flipping Gist. +1/+1 counters, then do all the whole fighting bit if we need to, if we get to stage 3 of the Grand Evolution. Glean Crawler is just fun. 6 mana for 6/6 with trample, and then at the beginning of your end step, return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard that are put from the battlefield this turn, so yeah, okay. Giant Adaphage just gives multiple copies of things and gives people fits dealing with 7/7 with trample. The Hornet Queen is the ultimate insect, comes into play. Basically, you get 5 insects that are going to cause people all sorts of headaches if they try and attack. Moldroth Monstrosity, dies, exile it, then return 2 creature cards at random from your graveyard to the battlefield. So get something random back. Probably, knowing my luck, things that aren't useful, but sometimes you hit the big stuff, which is good. And finally, the Living Hive is the last creature, mainly because it creates all those insect tokens when it deals damage to a player. Planeswalker's just one, the other version of Grist, because there's an insect when he's not on the battlefield, and then we can create insects each turn and mill a card. And if an insect card was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat the process. Since we have so many insects, the chances are we will get to repeat it, so I can cope with that plan. Spells, ramp and other things. So Smuggler's Surprise is here, just as a cheap way to get mill stuff into our graveyard for 3 mana. If we've got 8 mana kicking around, getting 2 creatures into place, not a bad plan either. Cash Grab, just to mill 4, return a permanent card from among the cards milled this way into our hand. Corpse Churn, mill 3, then return a creature card. Fast Seek for the ramp. Grapple with a Past for the return a creature or land. Nature's Law for the ramp. Roots of Wisdom for the more mill and land return. 3 Visits for the ramp. Damnation to control the board. The 2 big Go Find Forest cards, Ranger's Path and Skyshroud Claim, are here. And then Breach the Multiverse, because that's just everyone mills 10 cards and you get to use the best one on your side. Artifacts, mainly ramp, so Tantalite, Talisman, Codex Shredder are all here. Codex Shredder just to help us mill if we need to. Elixir of Immortality to stuff everything back in if it all goes pear-shaped and you're not getting anything good. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Emerald Medallion, Jet Medallion, Mindstone, Talisman Resistance, Thought Vessel are all here as ramp. We have got Howling Mind just to help us draw some extra cards, because I think you'll go through your hand quite quickly. And then finally, the Head Shredder coming in. Whenever it attacks, you may mill 2 cards. Whenever one or more lands are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped. It's got a crew of 1, so it's a really easy vehicle to crew. And it's good fun attacking with it anyway. Enchantments, just for the ramp side of things, we've got Exploration. Then we've got Scavenger's Talent. So whenever one or more creatures we control dies, we get a food token. And then whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target player mills 2 cards. So yeah, okay, we'll go with that. The third ability, maybe we'll go up to level 3, but we're not really sacrificing permanents in this deck, so, it's probably not going to matter. Druid's Class is also good, the one you want to get to level 2 to play the additional lands, but, whenever land ends the battlefield under your control, you gain life, so that helps, and you want to get this to level 2 to play the additional land when you can. Innkeeper's Talent chucks around some +1/+1 counters, and then we can do the whole Ward 1 thing if we need to. Rights of Flourishing just gives an extra land draw and land drop each turn. And Dead Bridge Chant, mill our top 10, and at the beginning of your upkeep, choose a card at random from the graveyard. If it's a creature card, you put it on your battlefield, otherwise it goes in your hand. I'm happy with that with Dead Bridge Chant, that's fine. With the amount of ramp and lands things we have, I've gone a little bit light. 34 is a little bit low for me. It may be that we need to drop 1 or 2 cards and make this 36, but yeah, it seems to be okay for me from the sort of like thinking I've done about it. Obviously, I haven't done any play testing because of not available yet, but I think we're there. I have played a lot of the go find lands and so on and so forth, so we can go and find all the dual lands we have in the deck. We are playing Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, and I am playing Herborg as well, so again, more cards you can cut if you're trying to build this in real life. I would suggest you go and pick up the Tainted Lands though if you haven't got them already, especially if you play Black X decks at any stage. They are really good, and it's in here for that. And that is it. My little bit of fun with Aatchik, the Emerald Radian, is all sorted out and done now. Yeah, just a fun deck. I don't think it's going to be, I could have gone with the Parallel Lives. I could have gone with Doubling Season. I'm very aware of that. I tried to avoid them for once in my life, but that may be a mistake. So it may be that I do have to pop in and change it and put Parallel Lives in. So if I do, I'll do a note in the description down below and say I've updated the deck list and what I've taken out. So keep your eyes on the deck. But I'm going to play it how it starts for now and see how it goes from there. Because I think with the amount of mill we've got on the deck, we should be producing enough insects when we play Aatchik from the command zone each time that we'll get benefit from it without having Parallel Lives. But I may be wrong. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Please subscribe. Please come and follow me on Twitch. You can see me play these decks as soon as Ether Drift hits. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.